Previously on the Damage Guild podcast.
In front of you is a pair of large metal doors set into the natural stone wall of the cavern. They bear the shield and spear of Embastile.
Azlo approaches the fountain and draws from his bag the flask of holy water. Azlo uncorks the bottle, begins pouring. His thoughts are towards this girl that he loves so much, and he begins to say her name, but then he stops. The desire to get revenge slowly overtakes his thoughts, and he says, "Show me Felmandar."
You peer into the pool. Ripples spread from the center of the fountain. The surface of the water seems to reflect a scene entirely different from your present location. You first see Nelia. You can sense a hint of sadness in her eyes. Your view shifts to see the door open. "Is anything the matter, my lady?" "No, it is nothing." Felmandar moves up behind her and places his hands on her shoulders. "I look forward to tonight." She leaves the room, and the vision fades.
Oh my gosh, but maybe she doesn't want to be there, dude. But he did use the pronoun we, and later tonight, you know?
Just saying. Yeah, just saying. Just in case you had any doubt about that.
I'm going to play Parcheesi.
Yeah, they're going to be playing Parcheesi.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what they're doing.
Betrayal at the deepest level.
Oh my gosh.
That dirty dog.
Picturing this like the Pensy from Harry Potter, so the vision fades and then my head like comes up out of the water. I don't know if that's actually how it happens. But
We probably shouldn't rip that off.
no, probably not.
So, of course, Tokas and I are like completely like...
Oblivious,
oblivious. We have no idea what you just saw.
But we hear you like seething over the fountain, so we know it's not good news, whatever you just found out, right? Like, are you like...
I do picture that, like, when I'm seeing that vision, that I'm just, like, completely entranced in it, so I'm, like, bodily still. But then as soon as it ends, I reel backwards and stumble backwards down the dais.
No, Azlo.
Try to collect myself.
Azlo, what'd you see?
Try to catch Azlo before he can fall, and I put him down. What happened? What was it?
Tell us.
It's worse than I feared. We must go to Marengar.
Oh, we're going to Marengar.
What?
Why are we going to Marengar?
I'll tell you along the way.
Well, you better tell us this time. No more secrets, Azlo, or I quit.
Is there any juice left in that stuff? And I run up to the dais and start splashing in the holy water to see if I'll be able to see any visions of my family, my mother, my sister.
Yeah, move over, Shabba. I want to see if Murney's there. And Tokas tries to look for Murney.
You're not getting any effect from the water as it remains.
I stare really, really hard, though.
Oh, maybe we should go one at a time, Shabba. Here, I'll let you go first. So Tokas backs off from the dais.
Okay, let's try that.
And just Shabba.
I stand really still and look really, really hard and don't blink for a long time.
Nothing happens.
Azlo, do you have any more holy water?
I'm sorry, I don't. That was my only vial.
Did you have to use the whole thing?
We came all this way to see your past, and you only brought one vial of holy water.
If you told us, we could have brought vials, and then we could be seeing our loved ones too.
I can afford a bottle of holy water.
Yeah,
Azlo.
me
I
too.
can buy it
Guys,
with
it's
my
okay.
own money.
Why is this okay?
Holy water's really expensive. You wouldn't have been able to afford it anyway.
But I can, though. I can buy it, Azlo. I have my own money. That's not company funds.
Do you have 50 gold?
Yeah, I have a lot of golds.
Man. Wow, sorry guys. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even think about that. I was only thinking about myself.
This is when you say, "I'm sorry. I was only thinking of myself." Will you ever forgive me?
Try this, Azlo.
Yeah, I had enough money. I had enough money for that.
Me too.
Man.
Well, you could always come back. It's only, a day or two to get back to town and come here again.
Yeah, guys, look on the bright side. It's only a day or two to get back to town.
But the city will probably be lost again by the time we come back.
Yeah, that's true.
If I had looked for Murney probably would have looked back. Like, he probably would be able to sense that kind of magic, and that would have been so cool. Yeah. But you ruined it. You ruined it. You ruined everything, Azlo.
Man.
You better tell us on the way what you saw in that dais, in that fountain. I seriously will quit.
I will. I promise.
I look at Tokas, and I point at Tokas, and I say, there's gotta be a storage room around here somewhere. Maybe there's a closet with some holy
yeah.
stuff in it.
Yeah, why wouldn't they keep a stock of holy water here if that's what activates the fountain? Let's get looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's search this place top to bottom.
Yeah, and find the dragon. Maybe the dragon has the holy water.
In its nest.
Good idea, guys.
All right.
Let's look around.
Where would you like to go first?
We'd like to go to the nearest by room.
What makes water holy? Or what makes holy water holy?
It's regular water that has been blessed by an individual with divine influence.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I know.
Interesting.
Now, someone who can heal other people, would they be considered to have divine influence?
Maybe not the type of divine influence that could turn mundane water into special water. But you never know.
If we could harness this recipe, then we could probably make a killing. I mean, that stuff sells great.
Yeah, it's super expensive. I would know.
You said it was 50 gold, right?
50 gold for a vial.
Wow.
Single vial.
Dude.
That's like our next business venture.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
We smuggle or kidnap a holy man or woman and force them to like
them to
make holy
Oh my
water
God.
in our basement or something.
That's a brilliant business idea. Why didn't we think of it before?
And incredibly dark.
I believe holy water is typically sold at cost because it requires silver to make it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay. Well, I was about to say, you could 10x Starbucks right there. I mean, Starbucks is like $5 a vial.
Yeah, that's true.
$50, man.
Wow.
If a vial was your caramel macchiato grande style or size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which makes me wonder, what happens if an evil character drinks holy water? Does it, like, burn them from the inside out?
Mm-hmm. I think so. Yeah. Pretty sure, actually.
Well, I shouldn't get near the stuff.
Yeah, that's true. You need to stay away from it.
It might burn the darkness out of you.
I'll be cautious as we're searching for this holy water. What makes us think that there's holy water down here? Shabba, why do you think that?
It's a temple.
I don't necessarily think that there are. Yeah, it's a temple, so they've got to have extra, like, reserves, right? I mean, it's an old temple, but if there's any place that's gonna have extra holy water, it's a temple. You know what I'm saying?
You know what would be like a really useful magical item we could find down here? Like some sort of like holy water filtration system or device. You just like put normal water in there and it's like boop, 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 boop. And then it spits out holy water. Be useful.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Just line it with some silver.
Like a Brita water filter of holy water or something.
Yeah.
That's the stuff.
This episode not sponsored by Brita water filters.
Or Brita holy water filters.
Or holy water in general. All right, let's start with the nearest by room that looks like it could be a holy water storage room.
Okay, well, the large room just before the one that you're in right now with all the pews in it had 4 doors, 2 on each wall. So I guess the closest one by a few feet would be the one to the right as you're looking out.
We're all about efficiency, so we'll go there.
Yeah.
We go that direction.
While we go, I search the floor for circus bear unicycle tracks.
Make an investigation check.
If anybody can find this, it's you, Shabba.
I know, right?
We did smell the musky scent of an animal down here.
Yes.
So
That's a 9.
chances of finding circus bears are good.
You don't find anything more than you found before, but you do still see here and there signs of animal habitation.
They've been here. All right, let's continue on.
So you reach the first door. It looks like a small office or bedroom-sized area, but all that you see in here is a large pile of rotting leaves and fungus in the corner, which give off a foul odor as you enter the room.
Ooh.
And you can see a distinct impression in the foliage, as if something were lying on it at some point recently.
A nest.
Tokas, go over and poke it.
I'm not gonna poke the nest. You poke the nest.
No, you poke the nest.
Well, no.
I'm the boss. You do what I say.
All right, I was waiting for you to pull the boss card. So Tokas reluctantly...
No, I grab your hand and pull you back. Don't poke it. You could die.
I'll poke it, and I
No,
turn off one of my
Shabba, don't.
tent poles and poke the nest.
Yeah, Shabba could poke it from a distance with his bow, right? Just like...
Yeah, or my tent pole.
You poke it, the leaves rustle.
It pokes back.
You disturb some of the fungus, which causes little spore clouds to come up.
Oh no!
It looks like completely ordinary fungus and spore clouds. And it's not like they're reaching you at the entryway. So nothing unusual happens.
Well, on to the next room, folks.
Yeah, nothing else in this room strikes our fancy?
Not particularly.
Okay, let's move on.
Looks like whatever might have once been there no longer is.
Okay.
Should we make search checks in here? Just real quick.
Sure.
That's also a 9.
So I just rolled a 19 for my rummage. That is a 25.
Oh,
Wow.
My.
I didn't quite get that high.
Does this include rummaging through the pile of leaves and fungus?
Ew.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna. Now that Shabba has reassured me that it's not venomous or something, I'm gonna go searching through. It's fine.
Okay, before you do, put on some kind of face mask or something.
Yeah, gas mask for sure.
All right, so put on my gas mask.
Elsewise, you gonna die.
Alright, you wrap a cloth around your face. You search through the pile. Everything looks pretty ordinary here at first. You do notice there are several spots of light gray, almost white fur embedded in this pile. It's like some sort of white or light gray animal here.
It's a polar bear.
I was going to say, I knew it. They're polar bears.
Wait, there might be a stash of Coca-Cola. Let's keep looking.
You also find a few discarded bones that have been chewed on, teeth marks all over them, and just thrown in the pile.
I still think it's a polar bear. Polar bears have teeth.
Uh-oh. Is this a gnome leg bone, Tokas? That's what it looks like to me.
I'm gonna take the bone and we're gonna inspect it. We're gonna take some measurements of the bone.
Just hold it up to your own femur. We'll see if it's the same length.
This actually belonged to my Uncle Gary. It's his leg bone. See? Yeah, it's like carved in the bone and Gary was here.
It looks like it's probably not human or humanoid.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I've had enough of this room. What about you guys?
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Same.
So do you go to the other door on the same side?
Yes.
Yep.
This is a significantly larger room, and looking around you see there are 18 large niches that have been carved into the perimeter of the room, stacked 3 high, and each one is about 5 or 6 feet wide, 4 feet deep, and 3 feet tall. 4 of them hold massive, light gray, furry creatures, filling up nearly the entire alcoves by themselves.
What? Light gray furry creatures. I make a do I know what this is check. Oh, that's a 19 on my D20. 22.
You haven't seen them before, but you
I've
recognize...
only heard tell in legend.
You think that these are some creatures of the underworld known as Quaggoths.
Ooh, I don't know what those are, but I've heard the name before.
Same here. I've heard the name, but I don't have any idea.
They look kind of like a cross between bear and an ape.
Huh.
Like they walk kind of ape-like and have long forearms and stuff, but more of a bear-like face and fur and everything. Except they're also white, usually.
Is that why it said bears, question mark? On the obelisk?
Maybe.
Probably because they'd never seen these things either. Should we be friends with them?
From what you know of them, they have basically a slightly better than animalistic intelligence and tend to be ferocious creatures that just attack whatever they see.
Uh-oh.
They're not likely to interact with you in any way beyond aggression.
Did they see us?
Why would you ask that question?
Fortunately for you, they seem to be asleep
Oh.
inside their little alcoves.
Is there a door into this room that locks or that we can shut?
The door is currently open, but you could pull it shut.
Might risk waking them.
If they have gorilla hands, then they can just open the door.
Maybe. Unless we can barricade it from the outside. I oil the door hinges. And then I pull it.
Hold on, guys. Let me get out my oil can.
Yeah.
I feel like that would make a lot of noise, oiling up the door.
I just swipe under Stripey's armpit and then I let it drip. And I let it drip into the hinge.
Stripey, why are you so sweaty all the time? Isn't that the reason you have fur? It's supposed to help with that, right?
Does having a higher stealth check potential make closing a door quietly easier?
That's a good question.
Yes, technically.
Okay. Who has our... It's Jay has the best stealth check, right? Or is it you, Brian?
It's definitely me.
I have +7.
I also have a +5.
Wow, that's great. We're tied. Okay.
Yeah, it's actually Azlo.
What if you guys close the door together, but whoever rolls better, like, pushes the other one gently out of the way? It's like, actually, I got this.
No, it should be Azlo, I suppose.
Okay, well, I don't want anything to do with this room because I'm clunky and loud, so...
But we don't have anything to barricade it with, and it probably opens inward, which means that barricading it
Well,
would
but
be...
can you barricade bears?
That's a great question.
Yeah, so does it open inward into the room?
Yes.
Let's not do this whole plan then. Let's back away slowly
Okay.
and quietly, and then
Should we stealth away? Should we, like, stealth check away?
No, you definitely shouldn't.
No, okay, let's not roll any dice.
Whatever you do, don't make a stealth check.
Let's not have me roll any dice.
But you Tokas, have to stand here for all of time.
Yeah, you have to stand still and not move at all. You have to just stay in the room, okay? We're going to close the door. We're going to leave the room.
Everything's
going to
be fine.
Just stand still. Don't move. We'll think of something and we'll come back.
We'll come back and you'll come back and get me. When you figure something out, you, like, learn some new spells. You level up a few times. You come back, like, a few years later.
Right? You're, like, standing there. The guy's, like, snoring, like, in your face. Like, blowing the air. Blowing your wig past.
They're still at fair distance from where you are in the doorway, so you could probably walk away without too much trouble and not alert them, you think?
Okay, let's leave.
As long as you're not making any really loud noises.
Okay.
All right, guys. Let's do this. Let's get out of here.
Okay, let's go. Immediately.
Okay. So we do that.
Alright, so you slowly back out of the room. You don't close the door behind you?
Nope.
Do we?
Nope.
No, but do we, though?
But gorillas have hands,
That's fair. Gorillas do have opposable thumbs.
and hands open doors. So, I think we quietly back away and reconsider our lives.
I agree.
Okay. Also, have we rested in a while, guys?
No.
No.
I don't have any spells.
I don't have any hit points.
Okay, we should probably do that at some
I
point.
blew them all heroically rescuing Stripey.
Oh, I see.
May I just say. You remember that? When Tokas saved the day?
Yeah.
That's right, I don't have any spells either.
That'll never happen again, by the way, Shabba.
That was the last chance.
That was the last time I'll ever save Stripey. And the first. And the only.
I'm actually up to full, but I have used all my spells, so
Okay.
resting might be fun.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we are entirely out of spells, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to make camp?
Not right here.
Well, not here,
Let's-
Azlo. Obviously not here, okay?
Let's find a room that is both Quagnoth free and mold free and sleep there.
Quagnoth.
Yeah.
Quagoth.
Quaggoth free.
Let's go sleep in that pile of leaves that we saw in the other room.
Still not mold free.
That's probably the most comfortable spot, though. What if we sleep in the basin? Maybe we'll have lucid dreams.
It's too small.
No.
What's the point of having a portable tent if we never use it? Let's just make camp where we see fit, in a strategic place.
Probably use your tent all the time outside.
Yeah, we do actually use it like every night. Have you ever seen the movie Congo? That's what happens when you leave apes unattended in the middle of the night and camp out.
I've not seen it.
You get attacked.
Also, have you seen Planet of the Apes?
I've seen that.
Because that's what also happens if you leave apes unattended.
Yeah. If you leave apes unattended for millennia, they evolve.
Yeah, exactly. Make sure not to do that. Let's retrace our steps back toward the entrance, see if there are any good places there. If not, we go outside to one of the buildings and camp there.
Yeah, maybe we should just get out of the caves. I mean, it'll take a long time to climb, but...
Azlo has done what he came here to do, but I'm still disappointed that we don't get to do the same. Because Azlo was too selfish to get multiple vials of holy water.
Yeah, why didn't you, like, tell... Okay, hang on, riddle me this. Are we far enough away from the Quaggoth that we could have, like a
civilized conversation?
a gentle debate that might get loud?
You're in the middle of the big room.
Okay, let's leave. Let's head towards the entrance, and we're going to take Azlo and we're gonna put our hand on his back, right? Shabba and I, as we're walking, all buddy-like.
Yep.
Now, Azlo, couple things. I know we touched on this earlier, but just want to reiterate, ask you some questions, kind of regarding your character as a person. You didn't tell us fully about this mission, like what it would entail, and you also didn't tell us about the holy water. And Shabba and I both had people we would have loved to check in on. Like, I have people that might have lived through, the ravening, and, like, I might have been able to reconnect with them. So, yeah, like, kind of explain yourself. That's a bit selfish what you did.
Yeah, I could check in on my family and, like, actually know that they're okay.
Yeah, make sure they're not being pulled apart by cloud giants.
Right.
Sorry, Shabba, I shouldn't have said that. Like, Shabba, he break down.
I think that's a great idea, and I think we should, in fact, check in on your peoples. The only reason I didn't get you guys holy water is because I didn't think of it. I was just focused on getting here and getting to the basin.
You were just focused on yourself.
I didn't even consider the fact that you guys had family or friends or anybody in your lives, really.
Oh, man. Yeah, why would you do that?
Yeah.
And what about Stripey?
Yeah, Stripey has family, potentially. He's never spoken of them, but he could, for all I know.
That's true.
Wait, why don't we just take the fountain?
Take the fountain with us.
Let's just take the fountain with us.
Okay.
He just said it's not big.
Nothing bad will happen. It's not like the cave is going to crash in on us, like trying to protect the fountain or something. Let's just go get the fountain.
Problem solved.
How big is the fountain? Do we remember how big it was? Why didn't we think of this earlier? We just take the fountain.
It's a solid stone basin, a few feet tall and 2 feet across.
Well, no, we just want the magical part of it. We just want to. Do we have like a bandsaw or something?
You just unscrew the lid, you pull out the magic part, and screw it back on.
I actually should have done a bit of investigation of the magical variety. Like, we never find magical or mechanical items that I use one of my abilities on. I'm very good at finding out things about such objects.
Here's the thing. I don't think we're going to be able to take it with us because it's too heavy. Even a small stone basin is still solid stone.
Yeah, how would we lug it up the rope? Yeah.
Second, this may solve our problem. I take out my world map and I unfurl it and I look at it and I say to myself and I say to my friends, hey guys, what do you think? You think that our route that we're going to go on to complete Lady Restuvius' quest might potentially lead us back this way in some form or fashion on our way home? That we could go into town, pick up some vials of holy water, and then kind of make a little detour on the way home.
If they sell it, if we have enough money,
We can totally do that.
I'm pretty broke.
The route that you would need to follow is pretty much straight west and then southwest, and that will get you to the remaining 2 cities and back to Nenept. However, the closest city that you know of is only a little over a day away, and you could just go there and back. And
Okay, so it's not really on our way home, but we could get there and back in a couple of days.
The only reason we come back, Shabba, is if we find the holy water.
Right.
Or buy some.
Which, in a city should definitely have holy water if this place doesn't.
yeah, I think that's where Azlo bought his, actually.
It is.
So, all in favor of stewing about Azlo's lies, say aye.
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 Aye. And we'll just move on with the mission. All right.
All right. Cool. Now that that's over, do we have a time limit on the Lady Restuvius quest?
She didn't specify one, but everyone you've talked to about her has said not to keep her waiting.
She doesn't like to be kept waiting.
Yeah, expediency.
Yeah.
Can we just do like a cursory check of the other rooms in this temple just to see if there's...
Can we just montage the rest of this dungeon? Because, like, I do want to check everything else out.
That's kind of what I meant. Like, check in some old cabinets and see if maybe there's some holy water lying around. Just so we can eliminate that, because it would suck to leave and come back and then be like, oh yeah, look at this room over here that we didn't go. This vat of holy water just chilling.
Well, there are still 4 doors you haven't been through, plus the large stone doors in the back of the temple.
Riddle me this. We have few, if any, spell slots, right? With Azlo being the only one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any sort of sensing or tracking that we could do to kind of help guide us to which doors we should maybe avoid and which doors we should partake?
That sounds like a job for a ranger.
Well, if we had one.
Yeah, I know.
That's true.
I mean, because Shabba's no ranger. Look at him.
That is a distinct lack that the party has. Why don't we go outside, rest, come back, we'll look at each door in turn, and then we'll leave if we don't find anything.
Yes.
Okay.
Is a short rest going to help anyone?
Short rest doesn't help me. I don't get anything off of short rest.
All right, so a long rest it is.
Yeah, let's bust out full camp.
Yeah.
All right. Go to one of the abandoned buildings. as secure as possible, close the doors, whatever, set up a tent, and we'll use our invisible fire, and then rest.
Okay, so you set up a tent inside of an old stone house that's mostly intact. Most of the buildings that you look at show signs of possibly these quaggoths or other creatures coming around here every once in a while. So it doesn't look like there is any place that's necessarily 100% safe, but you can make your best guess and try to find a good location.
That's fine. Whatever works.
Okay.
As third watch rolls around, that is Shabba, the other two are asleep, and as you're watching, and you can see a small pack of these creatures, quaggoths, moving along down the road.
All right, I keep an eye on them and see where they go.
You can't see very far, it's just your invisible fire. You catch them as they enter your view and then walk out into the darkness, but it looks like they're moving roughly towards the temple. The last one in the line of the pack is actually dragging a giant lizard corpse.
Ooh.
Nice. How many?
You counted 5.
All right. I maintain watch for the rest of the night.
The rest of the watch passes uneventfully.
When the other fellows wake up, I tell them what I saw. Well, looks like they got reinforcements. They sent out a hunting party and stole our lizard right out from under us.
Those jerks.
Did we remember to skin the lizard?
No, we didn't.
What a waste.
Big waste. Well, what do you think we should do, guys?
I mean, we have our spell slots. We already fought supposedly one of the scariest things down there besides the dragon. I say, what do we have to lose?
I say we still go in. I think it's still very worth it to rummage around, try to find some holy water, and we will be purposeful about avoiding the room where we saw them sleeping. Otherwise, we'll depend on your ranging, Shabba, to lead us to the holy water. See if you can pick up some holy water tracks.
Okay. I range very carefully as we enter, and I sniff the air for signs of water.
You're not going to be able to track holy water.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Well, then I just range very carefully then.
When you make it back to the temple, you notice that the front doors have once again been pushed, mostly closed.
All right. Go in.
You push it open, that loud grinding sound of the doors on the stone. And you enter the first room and don't see anything different in here, just the broken mosaics and benches and other doors.
We will proceed.
Okay, where do you want to go?
Door to the right.
This room holds a table broken in half with 2 of the legs snapped off lying nearby. There are several dark stains on the table and floor, and a tunnel and staircase both lead to the right.
Tunnel and staircase?
Tunnel on your level continues to the right, and then a staircase goes up and then kind of goes above the tunnel.
Tokas, why don't you check out that broken table and see if you can identify those stains?
Yeah, I was afraid you'd say that. It's probably blood, but let's check it out.
Either that or chocolate.
It could be, but probably not. Well, that's a natural 1. I slip and break my face into the mixture. Just kidding. I hope not.
Let's go back into the room on the left. Let's go into the main room and then back to the one on the left.
Yeah.
The other door opens to another small room holding a few empty weapon racks and covered in a thick layer of dust. A passage extends from here to the left.
So, a tunnel like the other one, or like a corridor?
They're both corridors, but the whole thing is kind of carved out of the rock, so...
So, in both rooms, there are corridors heading deeper into the...
Towards the front of the temple.
Okay, right. But only the one on the right had the staircase going up.
Right.
Okay, let's go back into the other room and go up the staircase.
You go up the stairs, follow the tunnel short ways, and then it turns to the right. As you walk along that, you pass by several arrow slits all along both walls. Looks like this is just where the guards would have been stationed. So it passes over the doors of the temple, and you can look down into the room with the mosaics and out in front of the temple. And you can see signs that there was at one point a battle in here. Dried blood on the ground, as well as a few pieces of broken armor and weapons here and there.
This would have been a fairly defensible position during the invasion, I imagine. All right, we'll continue on down the corridor.
The tunnel ends here as soon as it gets to the opposite end of the large room.
Okay, all right. So we go back, go downstairs, and then we'll go into the main room through the double doors.
I'm kind of curious about these mosaics. Could we check those out?
Not really mosaics, I've been saying that wrong. They're actually stone reliefs, so carved out of the stone. You see, many of the carvings are heavily damaged, far beyond simple wear over time. It looks as though they were intentionally destroyed at some point long ago. However, there are still a few scenes that you can make out. As you walk around the room, these are the scenes you can still see in order. There's a group of dwarves working in a mine, a battle that seems to include armies of dwarves, humans, and some type of humanoid monster. You're not sure which, if any, of the armies are supposed to be allied. Humans and dwarves gathered around and bowing down to something that has been smashed out of the carving. A world map featuring depictions of the known continents. Most of the details are unreadable, but enough remains that you can identify what it once was. Notably, the central portion of Ilthrod, the eastern continent you're on now, has also been smashed.
The central portion of it?
Yeah.
Huh.
And then the last one is a fleet of flying ships approaching a group of several dragons atop a rocky mountain.
Dude, flying ships?
Do any of the three of us know anything about ships that can fly?
We know that they were a thing of legend, that in the past it was said that they existed, but no one's seen one for a really long time. We've talked about this recently, I think. Remember we were talking about waiting around for one to crash land?
Oh, yeah, and then we hijack it?
Ah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they are around. We just don't know where.
That's so cool. Could we do a cross-analysis of our own, world maps to the map that's on the wall to see any differences?
Oh, that's a good idea.
Because maybe there's stuff on there that's not marked on our map.
Oh, yeah, this is the part in the video game where you pull up your world map and, mark off stuff. That wasn't there before. Let's do that.
We've added a new location to your world map.
Yeah.
The fog clears away from our world map.
Yeah.
Why did we put that there in the first place?
I'm not sure. Design mistake.
Seems like a waste of magic.
Most of the details on the map are unreadable at this point. It's weathered away. It seems to match pretty closely with what you have, except that it's not divided into separate countries that you're familiar with. It looks like all of it was one large kingdom. Either that or it just completely ignored the kingdom lines.
Back from the time of the Empire.
You mentioned that these are not a mosaic, but a relief. Do we have a piece of parchment that we don't mind using? We could place it over the image with the airships, and we could do a tracing. So I'd like to bring those back to someone. There's got to be somebody that knows more about these things. We could take the sketches to the library and see... What's his face?
Oh, Conan?
Conan.
Yeah, Conan.
Yeah.
Isn't it Malwyn?
It's Malwyn. Yeah.
Malwyn. Yes.
AKA Conan, the librarian.
Is it the kind of thing where that would work? Do we have any pencil on us? I guess we have chalk.
That'd be kind of interesting to do a chalk relief of the relief.
There's chalk, but isn't chalk white? So tracing on white paper with white chalk wouldn't really...
We need black paper then, Shabba.
No, we need either black paper or we need some crayons. Anybody got their crayon box with them?
Oh, yeah, charcoal would work.
Yeah.
Do we have some charcoal?
No.
From anything that you've burned recently, except you've been using your hidden firebolt.
Well, I could do that real quick. Get me a stick.
Yeah, right.
Get this man a stick.
We start a fire. No, we must have built a fire when we long rested.
Yeah, except that's the bowl that doesn't actually burn anything.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Never mind, our magic items are too good. All right, let's continue on.
We're too good at this game, guys.
Yeah.
Let's just take mental images.
You could make a sketch of it, at least.
Well, I've got a bottle of ink and quill.
Yeah, make a sketch, Tokas. You're really good at sketches, you said.
All right. I was trying to add in the fact that they were a stone relief to the story, but all right, so I'll sketch out what I see.
Good.
So you sketch the airship battle.
What were they fighting in the airship scene?
So the ships were approaching several dragons.
Dragon battle.
What?
So not necessarily fighting, but getting...
These must have been big ships if they were going to take on a dragon.
Yeah.
What's the proportion between the ships and the dragon? Can I kind of tell?
Tokas, why don't you use your knowledge of history to make a check that involves historical stuff?
That would be an 11.
Yeah, these aren't the sorts of drawings that are all done to scale. It's more symbolic.
Mm-hmm. They probably exaggerated the airships to make them seem really cool and not scared of the dragon, when really the dragon was probably much larger.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell.
Or the airships could just be a metaphor for something.
I'd like to think that they exist, Azlo. Why are you dashing my hopes of one day flying? It's every gnome's dream to fly. Did you know that?
I did. That's all you talk about these days.
Is that why they live in caves?
And we just daydream. One day I'll get out of this cave and I'll fly.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, let's go through the double doors into the big room, and then we'll go to one of the rooms away from the Quaggoth lair that we haven't gone into.
So you enter the larger room, the chapel area, and then turn to the right. As you approach the first door here, before you even get to it, you can actually hear some sounds coming from the other door on this wall. Sounds like messy slurping and chomping and...
Ew.
They're eating the lizard. They're all sharing it like a big feast. That's what they're going to do to us if they beat us in combat.
Guess we just have to beat them in combat, and I kick the door open.
No.
No, wait, hold on. I restrain myself.
The door's already open.
Oh, yeah.
Azlo, those new abilities of yours have gone to your head.
What new abilities? My eyes roll back into my head.
Okay, we go into the room.
This room looks like a small office space. No furniture remains, but you do see a few stone panels on one wall that look like they could be covering shelves or the like.
We go over to those.
You look at the panels closer. One of them is open and loose and you can just slide it to the side, but it looks like the shelf behind it has been cleared out. The other three are locked with a chain and a padlock.
Guys, did we ever remember how we were going to hire that thief for the party?
Yep.
Did we ever do that?
Yeah, we did, totally.
I thought
He's
that
right here.
Azlo
He just walks into the room.
learned-
This is Jimmy.
Oh, hey, Jimmy.
Hey, guys. I'm Jimmy the Thief.
I'm Jimmy the Thief.
Let me get that there lock for you, boys.
The unofficial fifth member of the AAA team.
I thought you learned a spell that unlocks things.
Oh, hey, by the way, guys, I have a spell that unlocks things. And I would like to cast Knock to unlock things.
Doesn't knock make a loud noise?
Oh,
Nah, dog.
Oh.
yeah.
Cast silence first, and then cast knock.
No, that's actually really spicy.
Can we shut the door?
When you cast this spell, a loud knock audible from as far away as 300 feet emanates
Yeah.
from the target object.
Yeah, so let's shut the door first, and then do it.
And then cast silence.
Yeah.
And then cast knock.
Well, silence, these are both second-level spells, so if I do silence and then knock, I will have only a single second-level spell slot left.
You know what else will happen if you do silence and then knock? They won't hear us.
How far are we from the nearest quagmire?
Like, they're in the next room, Scoob.
Yeah. Going around the corner to the next
okay.
room, it's like 20 feet.
So I see both sides of this. I see blowing all of your abilities here. I also see what Azlo's saying, Shabba, that we shouldn't just blow all our spells in one go. We could search out and see if there's anything within that 300 feet.
We know that the Quaggoths are within 300 feet.
Okay, well then that settles it. You have to make the choice here, Azlo.
The other option is, speaking of Scooby-Doo, have Stripey turn one of his claws into a little lockpick shape and then just
Yes,
pick the lock.
that usually works.
We could try the Goliath lockpick.
But actually, seriously, we should just try to pick the lock first. So let's just, test it and see.
Nobody can do that, though.
But it's an old lock. Maybe it's just rusty and it just snaps off.
Okay.
It's worth a try, right?
Yeah, or we could damage the lock beyond repair so that it can't be opened.
I think Knock can get past that.
It can. Okay.
Yeah, any object that is held shut, stuck, or barred by mundane means.
Okay. Then I take out a chisel and a mallet, and I jam the chisel into the keyhole, and I hammer it with the mallet several times. Now, that's anything, even if we try to break it like this, it's still going to make a noise.
Well, I'd like to look at it and see what state it's in. Is it in decent shape?
Wait a minute, that's the solution. Silence is the key here. Why don't we silence?
Literally.
Try to break it open.
And then use the dwarven lockpick method. Just break them.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah, and if we're unsuccessful, then we could still knock.
Then we can still knock,
Cast knock.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes, so silence, please.
So cast silence.
How long does silence last?
Concentration up to 10 minutes, 20-foot radius.
Okay, so we've got about 8 or 9 minutes to break this open on our own, Shabba.
Yeah. And how big is this room?
It's like 15 feet across.
Okay.
Can we talk to each other within the silence bulb?
No.
Nope.
We can't hear anything.
Okay, so we're going to have to... Okay, we need a plan before we silence.
Yes, that's what I was about to say
So,
next.
are you going to hand me the chisel, Shabba?
We'll simply devise an elaborate sign language, and we'll use that to communicate. Can you read lips?
I don't think I can.
I can pretend to.
Tokas is pretty inept when it comes to communication, so I probably can.
If you really need to, I guess we step outside the room, whisper to each other, and then step back in.
Or you could cast it so that there's like a corner of the room where it's not covering.
Yeah, that's true. I'll do that.
And then we just walk over into the corner of confusion if things get too out of hand.
20-foot radius, so I'll cast it like just outside the room in such a way that the back corner basically is not silenced.
But like legit, Shabba, you have a hammer and chisel, right?
I have mason's tools.
Okay. That could work.
All right, and I think, are you proficient with them, Shabba?
Heck yeah, dog. I also have leatherworker's tools, and I'm proficient with those as well.
Sweet. Maybe you can craft us some leather armor after this.
Could you pass me one of your sets of tools? Because I don't have anything that's useful for, like, smashing open this thing.
I'll give you the leatherworker's tools, and then that way we can both be working simultaneously. Good thought.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Right. Because for you, the advantage is your proficiency. For me, the advantage is my brute strength.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Exactly. So we go Shabba, Tokas, me, in order of likelihood to work. I turn around and I cast Silent.
Okay. All right, it's off.
Everything goes silent. You no longer hear the smacking of grotesque lips from the other room.
We get to work.
More refreshing than a flagon of wood elf tears. The Damage Guild Podcast.
Hey everyone, it's Brian Stout here, the voice of Azlo, Tendertoe, your favorite halfling bard. Here at the DGP, we've been blessed to watch our numbers grow over the past couple of years, and it's all thanks to the support of listeners like you. Now we'd like to help encourage those numbers to grow just a little bit more. We're issuing a new Twitter challenge to every one of you. In addition to naming something for us to use in the game, you can also just tell us one of your favorite things about the show. It can be a story moment, a character development, something that makes you laugh, or how the player behind Azlo's voice is probably super tall, rich, and handsome and smart. All you have to do is send out a tweet with an @DamageGuild mention and something you enjoy about the show, and there's a chance that we'll use your name or some variation thereof in the show itself. That's right, your name or something like it can be immortalized in the annals of history if you tweet @DamageGuild with something you enjoy about the show. No matter what form we use, if your tweet is chosen, you'll get a shout out from the DGP crew either way. So, do yourself a favor by tweeting something you enjoy about the show to @DamageGuild. The future generations of Earth, thank you. And until next time, stay bardically inspired.
You are listening to the Damage Guild Podcast.
Shabba, make a strength-based check with proficiency for your tools.
Okay. Oh, I rolled a 2, so that would be a 5. All right, Tokas, it's all you.
I guess I'll look at the two hammers, right? Because there's a hammer from the leather, and there's a hammer with your stone-making tools, right?
I don't know precisely what they contain, but...
I'm going to reach for your hammer. I'm sure it's the better hammer. Do you give it to me?
It depends on whether I can make more checks within this 10-minute time slot that we have.
Let's make another check. I just want to see how long this takes you, if you can make it.
Okay. All right, that time I got an 18 total.
It takes you a while. You do quite a bit of hammering and what would undoubtedly be extremely noisy, if not for the spell.
Yes.
But eventually, after a few minutes, you manage to crack through the loop part of the padlock that goes through the chain, and the whole thing goes crashing silently down to the floor.
I silently rejoice.
We're just like, yeah, but you can't hear anything.
Oh, Tokas, I also have a crowbar. Here you go. Forgot about that.
You can't hear that.
That would have been useful.
Yeah, it would have.
You slide the chains out.
And it's conveniently 3 vials of holy water.
You open it up, and inside you find...
Actually, you should give us 1 vial of holy water so we all fight over it. And it, like, rips the party apart.
Perfect.
You see a collection of old books. They're all lined up neatly, and they seem to have dwarven writing on the spines.
Ooh. Conan would pay a pretty penny for these.
Yes, he would.
Does anyone know dwarven?
Nope.
I don't.
Nope.
They could be cookbooks for all we know, but...
Most of them are in dwarven. You do find a couple on the end that actually seem like they're a lot more used than the others, and those have some writing in common, albeit older common, on them.
All right, we check those out and see what they say.
We don't check those out yet. I don't even look at them until the third.
We don't have to check them out. This isn't a library. We just take them.
We just take what we want. Yeah, so there were 3 locked containers, right? So I'm just move on to the next one.
Now, these are like 3 separate drawers that were all locked with one big chain and padlock.
Oh, okay.
So you open them all up, and it's several sets of books.
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right, let's dump these into our respective packs.
Wait, we try to read the ones that are in common first.
So these ones look like they're old records of worship services, rites that have been performed on behalf of various people, and so on and so forth. Like who has attended the temple, things like that.
Boring. Maybe Malin will
we
like
burn
these.
We could do, so I actually, you guys will find this interesting. This is like a real world connection, but there's like a way to kind of purview a book. Like if you go to a bookstore or a library, you can kind of get the general sense of a book without needing to spend more than 5 to 10 minutes with it.
Yeah, you just read the last page.
So since Sean in real life has acquired this information, can I transfer that skill to Tokas? No, of course not. That's not how D&D works. But let's do that preview method.
D&D rules with Sean.
So we check out the front, we check out the back, and then you just kind of skim. You're not really reading every single word, but you're just kind of just skimming it, essentially.
Just look at every few pages, see what's on it.
All you really have to do, Sean, is have a photographic memory, and then you just look at each page once and blink, and you're good.
Yeah. Well, not all of us are gifted.
And then you spend the next week reading it in your mind.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah. Everyone knows that's how photographic memories work. Every time you blink, your mind takes
pictures
a
with your
picture.
I remember an old series of kids' books that had that.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think I read
Cam
that.
Jansen.
I feel like that would be a curse, because there's some things that we look at in our lives that you wouldn't want to remember. You're like, oh, I blinked. Oh, now I have to remember, things you don't want to. I'm not going to get into that, but you, listeners, you know what we're talking about.
That one thing. Yep.
You wish you could forget, but nope, photographic memory is with you forever. Stuck to the ceiling of your brain.
That's a double-edged sword. The old photographic memory. So the other room on this side of the temple is where we heard them eating. Was that the same room that was their lair, their little sleeping alcove thing?
No, it's the one that you haven't looked at yet.
The room that they're eating in is the one we haven't looked at?
Yes.
Shoot.
Do we divide the books up between the 4 of us so we are all carrying books, like we give Stripey a book to carry?
Yeah, definitely.
Sure.
Are the books manageable if we divide them evenly?
Books are heavy, but you're all decently strong. You could probably split it up and each carry like 25 pounds of books.
Okay.
Stripey sits back up against the wall and cracks one open and starts reading it in Dwarvish.
He puts on like his glasses and everything.
He puts on little spectacles.
He has like a nice hot tea.
Gets out his pipe.
A mug of tea in his pipe, yeah.
Actually, he has like a little chair, like one of those comfy leather chairs.
Definitely.
And he's wearing some warm, fuzzy slippers.
And he's got a fez.
Just a random fez.
You have fez.
Okay.
Stripey, I didn't know that you were refined.
Such a badger of such a refined taste.
I'm seeing a whole new side of you.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that any conversation that has actually happened here has been in the corner of the room where you could hear.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, so we've only not seen one room, and that's the room that they're eating in, correct?
Right. Plus whatever's past the basin. If you could manage to get that door open.
Oh, yeah. Well, what do you think, guys? Should we just call it a day? Should we just leave? Because I don't really want to go fight 9 Quaggoths eating a lizard.
To be fair, they will be full, which is like when you go to a certain zoos or whatever and they let you actually pet the tiger. It's because it's just eaten.
I've never heard of that. Wow, that sounds dangerous.
I don't know if it's a zoo, but like, I don't know. I've seen pictures of people petting tigers, so I'm pretty sure it happens somewhere.
I saw people going around on the lion bus at a zoo. They'd like drive the bus out and you could go right next to the lions. And
What?
No thanks, man. No thanks.
that was in Japan.
That's all right.
I'm good.
Well, had those lions just eaten?
Probably.
I hadn't seen them eat.
Well, they maybe ate the previous bus tour.
Right. Yeah, they were full-on tourists.
You don't want to be on the first tour.
That's the whole thing. They drive up, they let you off, and then they drive away. And
And you fend for yourself.
They don't need to pick you up later.
Yeah, you don't have to be the fastest one. You just got to be faster than the slowest guy out there.
Or you trip somebody.
Right.
So we haven't actually looked into that room, right? Where they're eating?
Right.
Correct.
So wait, there's a locked door?
Should Azlo go invisible and sneak through that room?
I considered it. However, I'm guessing their sense of smell is real good.
But how can they smell anything over the scent of dead, eviscerated lizard? You know you want to, Azlo. We need quality content for the show, Azlo. You should turn invisible and go in the room.
You also have, like, barely used the invisibility, and, like, that's such a cool spell.
Oh, yeah, but it's like, that's the kind of thing you gotta keep in your back pocket and just break it out at just the right time. Like sneaking past animals that are eating food.
Yeah.
I don't know, they used invisibility a lot in The Lord of the Rings. Like, it never got old. I always thought that was interesting.
Yeah, when you have the ring that does it for you.
Yeah, the whole thing about that was that the more you use the ring, the more it takes control of you.
Right, but in the case of Azlo, the more he goes invisible, the more it inflates his ego.
Yeah, that's true. Of course, it doesn't take a lot to inflate my ego, but... yeah, you know what, guys? I think I'm going to go invisible.
Just don't let that ego get out of control, Azlo. You know what happens.
I'm just going to go invisible.
All right, we'll wait in the silence bubble for you.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, I can't do both.
If anything goes wrong, just shout. Oh, yeah, that's right. We're going to wait in the main room. We're going to hide underneath the pews or behind some pews. And if anything goes wrong, just holler and we'll come.
Okay. Now, I have concentration up to an hour on this spell. So if an hour and a minute goes by, just keep waiting, I guess.
All right.
No, I'll probably be dead. So you should probably just leave.
We should probably leave.
Yeah, just set a stopwatch and don't go in there for an hour. How about that? Just go in, take a look around, see what you can see, make a couple search checks, and then come back out.
Azlo, why don't you just message us if something goes wrong?
That's true.
Because you'll already have broken invisibility.
Can you cast message while you're concentrationing?
Casting a spell breaks invisibility.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Shabba,
right.
is if something goes wrong and he's running towards us, he could message.
Yeah, true.
Be like, guys, start the car.
Right. Well, we'll be close.
Good news is, anything worn or carried is invisible as long as it is on their person, so if I find something sweet, I can pick it up and sneak it past them.
You can purloin it.
Now, I would say you two be, like, primed and ready to go in case I run out and there's, like, 8 quaggoths running after me.
Yeah, we'll be in a 4-point stance, like on the starting line of it, toward the door. And if you come out, scream, and we're just going to run.
We're just going to outrun the gorilla bears. That sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
We could stand on either side of the opening of the door, and we could
trip
hold
them as
Lobik's hold Lobik's lengthy line between the two of us, and we'll wait for Azlo to run past, then we pull it tight. Perfect. At least trip the first couple.
Gorillas are also very trippable, I hear.
Yeah, definitely. They definitely don't have high dex scores.
No. Or walk on 4 legs or anything.
We might clothesline the first couple, okay?
And then the next few will swarm us.
Yeah.
Well, they might run into the first two, and then there's just dog pile. No? This is just the theater of my mind?
Yeah, everything might go the best it possibly could, but it also might not.
Well, that might be better than us just twiddling our thumbs waiting, Shabba. At least I'm trying to plan.
I think us waiting is the absolute best thing we can do, right? Because then if he hollers and he needs our help, then we're not setting up some rope on the other side of the room, and we're able to run right in.
Fine, so we'll be in a ready position as close as we can be without being too close.
Exactly.
And if I shout, help, that means come in and help me fight them off. But if I guess
shout,
if I just come...
let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Then that
if I
means
shout, let's
run.
vamoose, then that means start running. Although I still don't think we're going to outrun them, so I think we should just get ready to fight instead.
Can we prop the doors of this room so that they are almost closed so that we can slip through and push them shut?
They bar from the inside, so you couldn't bar them behind you.
Or couldn't we? Can I cast Mage Hand through a wall, through doors?
I think you have to be able to see your target, plus the beam would be way heavier than Mage Hand could lift.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's our plan then.
Okay.
You guys be primed and ready for to help fight or run or something in between.
All right. I will position myself behind a pew, crouched down, so that only my 2 eyes in the top of my head, and my 2 hands are visible over the pew, and I'll be 30 feet away from the door.
I just imagine, like, you, me, Stripey, like, we're all just like this.
Yeah, all 3 of us just, like, looking over the top, just like that. 30 feet from the door.
I think I meant like being ready to attack. Like have your ranged weapons at the ready. That way, the first one that runs out, you just pepper it with arrows.
Okay, cool. In that case, we don't need to be that close. So if you get into trouble, just run out the room.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so we're not gonna. That's plan A. We're not gonna come and get you. You just run out of the room.
Right.
I just gotta say it, Azlo, we're really gonna miss you.
Oh, for the next hour? Yeah, I know. I'll miss you guys too.
That's not what I meant.
The other consideration is someone needs to be managing the light. The room that you're looking at is completely dark.
Well, I can see.
I guess you've been using your bowl of hidden fire as your light source.
Yeah,
That's true.
But if you bring that into the room and walk close enough to them, then they'll be able to see it.
Oh yeah, how is Azlo gonna see?
Yeah, and I can't cast it on Tokas because he's really bad at sneaking.
Well, I could take off my armor, and then we could have me do it. Why am I volunteering for this?
No, that's a bad idea. How about this? We cast light on something like a coin, and the first thing I do is I just, around the corner, just chuck the coin into the room.
This is a terrible idea. Now that I know that it's dark, the only way we could do this is if you had me do it. So Tokas starts taking off his armor.
Oh, no, don't do that. Stop.
Nope. Keep
Stop.
your armor on.
All that build up for nothing. We have to leave. We have to leave. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, we don't have the tools for this, do we?
All right. Well, nice knowing you, Temple. See you on the flip.
Wait, hold on. There has to be a way.
No, there's not.
There has to be.
There isn't. We leave the temple.
Well, the hidden fire is only visible out to 15 feet, so if you stay farther away than that from any of them, they won't see it.
That whole room is probably only 20 feet.
Is there 15 feet of clearance?
Probably not.
Could you wander in the dark for a little bit, then flip it back on? Like he has it, and then once he realizes, okay, I'm going to be within about 15 feet, turn it off, keep walking in darkness for a little bit, like maybe feeling along the wall?
That would be tough.
You can see farther using the light from it than
Then the light it casts.
it can be seen from outside the lake.
Right, okay.
That makes sense.
That's actually very helpful. So then roughly how big is the room, do we think?
So far, the sleeping area has been the largest room that you've seen, and if it's closer to that size, then you could easily walk around with the fire.
What's the worst that happens if we have Azlo turn invisible, try and see if the light will work, go in there? If you realize it's too cramped, you could just leave.
The worst that could happen is that Azlo gets eaten by quaggoths. That is technically the worst that could happen.
I think I agree. Let's try it, right? I will ignite the bowl of hidden fire, I will go invisible, and I will, at the very least, peek my head around the corner of the room, gradually turning the bowl around the corner of the door, and if they are right there, then I will just pull it back and we'll leave. If there's room, then I will go around and search and see what I can find.
All right, cool.
So this does mean there is a chance we alert them.
Yeah. Keep in mind, though, Azlo, if you decide to run and they are chasing you, cast light, because that is the only way I will be able to see across the room to provide cover fire for you.
Oh, true.
Because that hidden fire isn't going to do it. So make sure you cast light. That way I'll be able to pinpoint and take some shots at the guys who are coming after you.
All right, fair enough.
All right, so since we're doing that, how far is it from that door that Azlo is going into to the doors, the double doors that enter this big sanctuary room? We need to get, like, in the back row, you know what I'm saying? Best way to slip into church is sit in the back row so nobody notices you're there.
All right, so
Life lessons with Shabba.
Yeah.
it's about a 45-degree angle from there, and the distance looks like 70 feet or so.
All right, you good on 70 feet, Tokas?
Yeah, well, no, I'm not. No, I'm not fine on 70 feet unless you have a light source. My dark vision's 60 feet.
Your dark vision is 60.
By that point, I'll cast light and run out of the room, so
Yeah.
you'll be able to see over in that corner.
All right, so then we will stand just inside the doorway.
Your ranged weapons go that far, Tokas?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Okay. Good luck, Azlo.
Well, here goes, boys. Ignite the bowl of hidden fire, cast invisibility, and begin to work my way into the room.
I turn to Shabba after he's out of earshot, and I say, he's not coming back, is he?
No, he's not. He's dead meat.
Once they start eating him, that's when we sneak in.
No, that's when we run away. We could have new jobs.
We could be self-employed.
Yeah, we could go. Maybe this is great. Maybe we just let him, get eaten. But Azlo doesn't hear this, right?
No, not at all.
Yeah, good.
All right.
Okay. Aslo, you approach the room carrying the bowl. Give me a stealth check just for your
And make it good.
footsteps.
Let me roll my best d20. Should I use inspiration?
Potentially.
Seems like a very important role.
I think you've already got plenty of bonuses with the invisibility, but
Oh, that's true. Yeah. How does that help me exactly, other than being invisible?
Stealth check wise.
I mean, essentially, it just makes you not vulnerable to sight-based perception checks from the opponent, right? You're only assessed by sound or smell checks.
Or field checks?
Well, I mean, at that point, it's probably over.
Yeah, hopefully I don't have any of those happening.
They're just like feeling around in the dark looking for you. Like this whole time that we've been planning, the Quaggoths have actually also been planning.
Like, all right, as soon as he walks into the room.
We don't have the element of surprise at all.
Those idiots out there think we don't know they're here.
Just keep making those lip-smacking noises.
Yeah, pretend you're still eating.
They probably are really intelligent. Or reasonably intelligent. Okay, they're probably smarter than a normal bear.
A voice in my head tells me they're just above animal intelligence.
Yeah, they got the whole pack thing going, right? Like Shabba, you said you saw that hunting party last night. Like they literally like plan in that way. So that seems like pretty darn smart, actually.
I don't think there's anything about advantage and disadvantage. It's just you can't be seen.
Yeah, so heard, smelled, felt. Tasted.
I could also be tasted, that's true. All right, well, let's give it a try. So I'm assuming that I will end up making multiple stealth checks, probably, so I might as well just do one at a time. Yeah, so let's just do stealth check, no inspiration, but invisible. A 10.
You've got a +7 and you got a 10.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, pretty much.
So you peek into the room, see a relatively large room with stone tables neatly arranged, carved directly out of the rock. 4 vaguely humanoid beasts, which you recognize as the Quaggoths, are hunched over one of the tables, devouring some kind of meat. You can see that the room continues to the back somewhere else. It looks like it goes into another room. They are far enough away from the walls that you could probably edge around them and get past them. And at the moment, it looks like they're a little too absorbed in their eating to have heard you.
Okay. That's good.
Huge sigh of relief that we all just made.
If you make very much noise in here, though, like enough to get past that sound that they're making, they could definitely notice you.
Yeah. All right, well, I will begin to make my way around then.
Did you gauge the distance? Do you know if you're going to have to douse the light?
No, Thane said there was room to work around, to move around them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Make another check as you're crossing the room.
Okay.
This does bring you closer to them, so
Come on, more than a 3.
it'll be a little bit harder.
All right. Natural 20.
Woo! Hey, that was the big one.
You just like levitate.
Yeah. Teleport.
You glide across the room
Nice.
and arrive at the back end, which, now that you get close enough, you see it leads into what looks like an old kitchen. Simple but functional.
I knew it. They're all a bunch of dwarven cookbooks.
See a large oven with a chimney and counters that have been built into the walls. The creatures actually seem to have been making use of this area almost for its intended purpose. See several large animal carcasses, or pieces of them, are lying on the counters waiting to be eaten.
Ew.
And it seems like their main food source is indeed giant lizards. But you can also pick out a few other creatures here. You see a couple of kobolds. One thing that you probably don't know, do you want to give me a nature check here?
Yeah. A 12.
You're not sure. It's kind of this gray, scaly, humanoid creature
Huh. Okay.
with a tail, and it smells very nasty as you get closer.
Okay. All right. Sounds
As
good.
one might imagine.
Do I see a holy water fountain?
No.
Do I see any closed or locked shelves or hutches or cabinets or refrigerators?
There are some cabinets that are closed.
I'd like to go over and carefully, slowly try to pull those open, at least just get a peek inside.
Give me one more stealth check for all of those.
Okay.
There are more checks that have to happen as you leave, too.
16.
Okay.
Okay. So, These do make a little bit of noise each time you open and close them, but it doesn't seem to be enough to alert them at this point. And looking inside, you find old, rusted tools and knives and things. Mostly basic kitchen utensils. These things probably haven't been making use of them.
Do any of them appear to be silver?
A silver crab cracker or hammer.
A few of the knives seem to be silver, or at least silver-plated.
Take the silver. Take it.
Yeah, I will, I'll go ahead and stuff some silver pieces into my bag.
Might as well burgle something while you're there.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
In the last one that you get to, you actually come across very fancily carved and gilded bowl. All of their fancy stuff. There's a bowl in here, there's a little chalice, there's probably ceremonial goods that you're just not familiar with.
The sacrament.
Well, they might make more sense after we get those books interpreted.
Yeah, true.
They're all probably pretty heavy, but could fetch a decent price if you wanted to sell them, or the temple would be interested in getting them back.
Yeah,
Nice.
for sure. Yeah, I'll collect those.
Didn't that priest who sent you here tell you that there was something like that? That he wanted, like relics or whatever?
Yeah, if I can collect those relics, then he'll cast a spell for the price. So I will pick those up.
Wait, cast what spell?
Essentially the same thing I did at the fountain, but he'll just cast it for the price of getting these relics back from Yggdrasil.
So Shabba or I could...
So I'm just going to leave him here.
But no.
So either Tokas or myself could have the...
No, Azlo's going to keep it to himself again because he keeps secrets from us, and he's just going to check in on his girlfriend again.
I really just want another look.
I'll go pay him a private visit.
And just get more angry because, like, this time Felmandar and her, like, going out to, like, a spaghetti dinner.
Fancy dinner.
Yeah. You, like, catch them at the movies.
Doing the Lady and the Tramp thing with the one last spaghetti and
But the vision ends right before they kiss.
I want to know how it ends. Felmandar!
Some dude's playing a violin in the back corner. Dang it. I hate the violin.
And then a random mariachi band shows up. If you guys ever watch Silicon Valley, it's one of my favorite shows. I'm about to watch the final season. And for some reason, they always meet at this Mexican restaurant, and they'll just be having a conversation, and just randomly the mariachi band starts playing super loud, like right next to them. And they're like, "No, shut up, go away, go."
What service is that on?
HBO.
Oh, okay.
This podcast is not sponsored by HBO.
Yeah, or
exactly.
Silicon Valley.
It's seriously one of the funniest shows I've ever seen, especially if you're a programmer or a developer. It takes on a whole new level of funny.
Oh, okay.
It's really good.
So you've been in there for several minutes now, carefully walking around, searching every inch of the kitchen. The two of you who are outside of the room hear the door sliding open behind you.
What?
Or open or closed. You can't really tell, but the main entrance.
We didn't include a provision for us contacting Azlo, did we?
Can't say that we did.
This is like Indiana Jones, where like the chalice has been taken and like all the exits are starting to close.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Oh no.
Well, let's split. Tokas, let's each, since we're standing on either side of the inner door, let's both go whoosh, all the way to the corners of the room and crouch down and cower in the darkness and hope that they don't notice. We'll make hide checks.
Is this also one of those situations where we're supposed to keep the door open? Like, is it closing shut or is it opening? Do we know?
The door outside is opening. We need to move fast.
Someone's coming in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
To the temple.
Yeah.
Yes.
To the shadows.
To the
So
shadows.
we go to the shadows immediately.
So the two of you split and run to opposite corners.
And we make stealth checks. Or hide checks. Whatever. We make checks to not be seen. 21.
Yours has disadvantage, Tokas.
Yep, well, I don't even know if I should bother rolling the other one. Because I got a 5 and a 7.
Oh, boy.
Trips over a pew. Knocks over the whole pew. Domino effect. All the pews.
Whoa! Yeah, they just start falling in a line.
Taken by surprise, you run off towards the corner, forget to silence your jingling armor as you do so.
Forgot to turn off the jingle mode.
Who is running towards which corner?
I was running... Well, if you're facing the door, or if you're coming in. If you're coming in, I'm going toward the right, the side that's closest to where Azlo is, along that
Okay.
wall. Tokas is going toward the left.
So I'll bank left.
Alright, so Tokas is running towards where the others were sleeping before, and you're running towards where they're eating now.
Yes.
So you hear movement from the room behind you as you're running, but Tokas is the only one who can see anything of what's going on here. You look back towards the doors that you just left and see them opening a little bit more fully, and in walk 3 more of these creatures.
Oh no.
They all seem alert and scanning the area, and it doesn't take them very long to spot you, Tokas.
Hi.